Show the gut to the side. Look at that thing, man. Like, that, to me, looks like a PB. What do you think? That's going over 5. No, it's not 5, but holy crap. Dude. Damn right. That's a 4. Dude. 4 pounder after bat. Here we go. Oh my god. Dude.
Good job,
Look at that. I have big hands. That thing's huge. Girthy. That's triple C thick. I'm calling them today, boys. Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
That didn't work for me. I was like already in frame. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. So, first and foremost, I'm going to reiterate this a whole lot during the stream. The video and audio are not synced, and it's bugging me. There's a very slight delay from this new setup that I could not troubleshoot in time. I was working on it yesterday and the day before. Totally forgot about it until literally 3 minutes before the stream is supposed to start, which is why we're late.
Yeah, true story.
I think my face probably went like white as a sheet. I was like, oh, I forgot.
I was actually more impressed to watch you run through the jungle gym of electronics without causing issues.
Try and fix it all. So, and the other thing I forgot to do was update that. Browse. That one. Open. Okay. Turn that on. There it is. Look at that. Do stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
It's like I know what I'm doing.
Kind of.
Some days.
Anything except audio.
Yep. Bingo.
Let's see if this works. Hold on.
The words of
Let me
Scotty
see if this
Wallace.
works. That. Oh no, is that not
The
playing?
words of Scotty Wallace. Yep.
What'd you do?
I don't know if it's actually working or not. Whatever. We'll figure it out. All right. So anyway, what do we got here? Sorry, let me go back to the chat. We have Drew, what's up? Ben, Dave, Chris, Aaron, Jack, Donk Swampy, hey buddy, Brian, Keith, Drew, Lila Squad Gaming. Wonder who that is, John. Ben, sound quality is awesome, just not synced. We'll get over it. Right. So there's nothing I can do about it. Trust me, I just scrambled. That's why I was a few minutes late. I tried to fix it. No bueno. Couldn't get it done.
Hi,
But-
Morgan.
Keep me posted on at least the overall audio balance. One of the things that I got some feedback on recently was that all the streams have actually been like quieter than I thought they were. So I bumped up the audio input on everything. So I'm hoping that that fixes the issue. Otherwise, listen to this gloriousness. Oh yeah. John came through clutch with Treehouse. This is my favorite out of all of them. And I love all the specialty releases, but Haze is my favorite.
What about Very Hazy?
I actually like Haze better.
There's something wrong with you.
They're both so good, but this is
No.
just, they're so good. They're both, I don't
Listen,
know.
I did a side-by-side comparison of Haze and Very Haze. Very Hazy was actually smoother, and it's a triple.
I know,
versus a double.
you're probably right. I haven't had Very Haze in so long that I honestly don't remember, but
I almost brought you another one, but I couldn't bring myself to give up anymore.
that's fine. I'm glad you even brought me one. The fact you brought me the 6 is insane. So thank you. Well, 5. You had the 6.
All right. I
Um,
still brought 6. I could have brought you 5 and you
This
could have
is-
4.
This is true. Ben, this is like ASMR clarity. Is it really that clear? Like, it should be. Andrew and I already recorded a video with the whole setup, getting ready to announce memberships for the channel, which I think I'm going to have that up next week. I think everything's all set. I can finally do it. But, like, when I was playing it back and listening to it, I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, I was like, I just handed my headphones, and he's like, oh my God. Dude, the clarity is so good.
If you guys want some ASMR, let me know. I'll rub my beard against the screen.
It's uncanny clear. Very clear hurts my brain, though. Damn, yes! All right, that makes me happy. So, really, you guys should be thanking yourselves, because this wouldn't be possible without everything that you guys did last week. It was Absolutely insane. We hit $500 total for the donations is what it ended up being. One of my coworkers ended up throwing me cash the next day and ended up throwing me a little bit more. And then we got another $20 donation on top of that the next day as well. So like, unreal. I wasted no time. I ordered everything. I paid the $20 to have it all overnighted. I got it set up all over the weekend with the obvious exception of this little bit of desync here. So I'm happy about it. Ben, definitely go back and listen to that can pop on the recording. Crystal clear. Crystal clear. Is that what I said?
Crystal clear.
Yeah. Maybe if I drink more.
No, I knew he was excited. I woke up the next morning to a bunch of messages, and he was like, dude, you won't believe what happened last night. I can't wait to see you so I can tell you. He was amazed. I've been behind him 100% on this. So seeing that excitement and hearing it in his voice, it goes back to all of you that constantly show up and, give to someone that's given back in a different way. But you guys continue to be incredible. I really like being a part of it in the background. Obviously, everyone knows that knows us fairly well. Sean and I already work together. We're obviously 100%. We're like the three best friends that anyway. And it really is. It does speak to you guys. And again, giving in a situation like this, just to keep going. Shows what Sean and Andrew and anyone else that's participated thus far in the stream gives us hope to keep going. So it's awesome.
You could not have said that any better. I couldn't have said it any better. That's for damn sure. Oh geez. So the only problem with the way I have this all set up, go up there. So I reconfigured how I have everything laid out in streams, but now with that pinned comment, I'm kind of losing some stuff here. There we go. Yeah, sorry, Drew. Treehouse Brewery out of Charlton, Mass?
Yeah, something like that. Charleston.
I think it's Charlton.
Yeah, it sounds like Charleston, but it's not.
Charles and Charles. It's south of Worcester, right off of, I think it's Route 20, Route 25.
Yeah, it's literally like you get off the highway, it's maybe a 3-minute ride off the highway.
If you're coming from the south.
No, I drive from the north, bro.
You're gonna tell me how you go that way because
the highway.
Fuck you. Cam, no, wait, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Cam, did you rod fall or is that just how it is? That's just how it is because we have some demonstrations to do tonight.
Yeah.
Yep, Chris, Charlton, Woods and Weeds. Be careful now. We will hear all those farts.
Yeah, I figured out. You know what it was today?
What?
I had those breakfast sandwiches when I stopped.
Oh,
at the rest area.
Dude, those wreck me every time too.
Dude, it was. And I went home and told the man, I was like, I don't know. Oh God, I figured it out. Been a brutal day.
Bump you up just a little bit so that we're a little equal. That's what I like about this. I can adjust audio for the two of us on the fly.
Yeah. But
I'm sitting right in front of it versus you're a little further away, so I'm kind of hoping that we got this balanced out just right.
Yeah, I got a little bit extra in front of me compared to what Sean does. So. I'm actually trying to sit comfortably on this chair that I'm not fully trusting. So
it's stout, don't worry.
So aren't I.
All right, so the plan for tonight is rod buying guide, right? We want to go over everything for rods, not just open water, but ice as well. So that's the plan for tonight. Before we get into it, there's a few things I want to cover. Ben, thank you for the reminder. For those that are here that are watching, again, pay attention to that pinned comment. If you missed the explanation earlier, there is an audio video desync here that I was not able to address the new setup prior to the stream. So I apologize, but I couldn't fix it on the fly before the stream started. So we'll just have to deal with it for the show. For those that are watching, go ahead and drop a like if you haven't yet, please. I would greatly appreciate it. It has been helping. I cannot begin to tell you how much it's been helping. I check the analytics on the channel, not every day, but like every few days. And like growth was flat. And then I got rid of that Winnipesaukee video because it was absolutely destroying.
I'm reading all the comments.
What the hell was I just saying?
I don't know.
Mark, you ruined it.
I'm reading. I was reading the gas station hot dogs and trying not to laugh. I love everyone already. This is great.
I check the analytics all the time to just kind of keep an idea what growth is happening. And that Winnipesaukee altercation video like absolutely screwed me over the last few years, and I didn't realize it until too late that it was really messing with how like came up in search algorithm on YouTube. So once I got rid of that, growth tanked. But at the same time, like a week or two after that, that's when I really started asking people like, hey, please help us. And like, just do everything you can to share, liking on videos. Comments are also huge on all the videos. And it can be literally anything. Just having comments on there like further helps how we show up on YouTube inside of the search algorithm. So ever since I started asking for that, we went from downhill to flat within like a week to a nice, good, steady climb ever since then. So I've said it before. I will continue to say it. Growth really comes from within, from the community. Without your guys' support, it would be a hell of an uphill climb, and you guys are making it 10 times easier. And for that, I'm grateful. Just recapping again, last week with the whole donations thing, I did write down a bunch of names. I want to make sure that I got everybody, all the donations we had last week. Again, that all piled up to $500, which is insane. Blew the best day out of the water by 2.5x. We had Swimweigh Scrutiny, Dave Richardson, Carl, wow, my handwriting's bad. Oh, Grat, Dave, Brian, Lisa, Andrew Harris, Tom McIntosh, who's also from Swimbait Scrutiny, Mark, Dan Kenny, my friend Chad, and then there was one more that I'm sorry, I forgot to write it down. It was the next day donation. You guys killed it. And again, 90% of what we're using in here is because of you guys. I not lying. I reinvest 100% of every dime back into the channel in some way, shape, or form. Is it? Yes, it is. Literally comment. Cam, I mean, it would work.
It would. Yeah.
So now I do have the goal re-updated. For those that remember, the previous donation goal was to buy new equipment for the boat. I want to get all new GoPros. I do have a sponsorship by GoPro now, which is pretty awesome. And I actually think it's kind of a big deal because as far as I know, like nobody can just get in this program. So it makes me happy that like I shot my shot and they're like, hell yeah, you're on.
Yeah. Well, I say we. Don't mind me if I use the we word.
You better use we.
I do. We actually reached out to a very, very well-known YouTuber that is all GoPro, and they are not even sponsored by GoPro. So
no, which I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
I wouldn't say it's luck of the draw, honestly. There are obviously people out there with, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. We'll get there. I firmly believe that. But again, it's that strong core and, showing that what Sean and Andrew continue to do and throw us in the mix and, get these featured people on here. It wasn't luck of the draw. It was meant to be for you to pick up on that. And, I guess getting back to what the donations are for now is obviously where he was going. But, don't think you can't do this stuff because you can. There's proof. There's proof in Sean. There's proof in myself. I can tell you that I've always had a dream to have, a full-time job in some type of fishing industry, whether it be, the dream job of actually fishing in the Bassmaster or whatnot.
Yep.
And here I am building sweet ass rods. 100%.
Understatement. Absolute understatement. Thank you. Damn. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate you. That's what I appreciate about you. So the goal is all new GoPros for the boat. I want to get at least 3, but if I can, I'd like to get 4 more. The added benefit of the new ones is I can then make every GoPro the current resolution it's at, 2.7K resolution, so crystal clear video quality, but then I can increase it to 120 frames per second, which allows me a little bit more cinematic freedom with what I do. Buttery smooth, slow motion clips, the whole 9 yards. So to be able to get there, like if we can cover the GoPros itself, I will cover everything else. I have to get all new battery packs. I have to get all new 512 gigabyte cards per GoPro. That's not cheap by any means. Those are like $90 each. But there's it's a lot of money. Yeah. But then the other thing is the new GoPros, the 9s and the 10s, have a preview screen on the front. So that no matter where I'm on the boat, I can easily see like, okay, yeah, that camera's still in frame and I don't lose shots like I have been like for years now. So that's the goal. So if we can get there, awesome. Anybody that wants to donate, greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. If you do it through YouTube, that's probably easier. I don't know. They take actually a pretty significant cut, but anything helps. immensely. Down in the video description below is a link to both our Venmo and PayPal if that makes it easier for you all. Whatever you're willing to do, greatly appreciate it. So that's that. Dan, thank you very much, buddy, for the donation. Good gravy, buddy.
Oh yeah.
One more thing that I did want to cover. Expo season is coming up, and that's kind of damn right. So that's what we're trying to like. That's kind of the focus, right, for the next several weeks, because we have the New England Fishing Expo in Boxborough, Mass, at the end of the month, January 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Yep.
And then in March, there's the New Hampshire Outdoor Expo, which will be in the Hampshire Dome in Milford, New Hampshire, my hometown. And then in April, they have the New England Swimbait Expo, which is going to be amazing. There's some big, heavy hitters, not only coming to the Boxborough show, but as well as the Swimbait show in April. So I want to get more people involved. Dan Kenny is the guy that owns and runs all these shows. He does an excellent job every single year. We didn't do it last year because of COVID.
Boo.
Everything's back on track for this year. So if you're going, start asking around, find out who's going. Be there. I won't be there Friday for this first show, unfortunately. It's my youngest son's birthday. So, but I'll be there all day Saturday and Sunday. I'll be working the Wicked Custom Rods booth. I'll be in the Beast Coast booth at some point. I'll be in the Ben's Tackle Shack booth. I'm actually doing a demo at the tank to talk about jigs at one point. So if you're
He
willing
gets
to come
around.
built different.
Built different.
Show up, come say hi. I'm willing to talk and just shoot shop. No, talk shop.
Absolutely.
And we'll have a good time. We'll hang out, talk about whatever you guys want. Sell you some Wicked Custom rods.
Yeah.
That's what we're there for. Other than that, the only thing we didn't cover was the weekend recap. There is none. I didn't fish last weekend. We were supposed to. The weather was like...
Yeah. Snowed, right? Saturday into Sunday.
Right, but for us over here, we got snow like Saturday evening, and then it switched over to like a sleet and rain, and we had like 2 inches of snow, I think, and then it knocked it almost all down, and then all that shit froze.
Yeah.
So when I got up like late, I was like, screw this, dude. It's gonna be dangerous in the morning. Andrew and I called it off. I woke up. I went out at 9 o'clock to start shoveling my driveway, my 2 elderly neighbors' driveways, and it was like an ice hockey rink, dude. I was like, we would have died.
Yeah.
We were out on the road at 6 a.m. We would have died.
I was smart enough not to shovel my driveway at all, and my wife slipped and fell yesterday. So
You're the worst.
there's that.
For the tank to put you in the mix. Okay, Dan, I got your message. I will respond to that after the show, buddy.
Yeah, and anyone else, I know Sean just mentioned it. So the Boxborough one is the one coming up at the end of January. It is at the Boxborough Regency. So if you're looking for it, I believe it's only $12 to get in, and kids get in free.
Yep.
So I just pulled those numbers out of the air. I've seen so many posts. I got to get on posting them, but I got some building to do as well. So I'm really trying to juggle that. I actually have my side piece here that creates some posts for me every now and then. Maybe I'll put them on that.
I got to get back to it. I did one. I started making a video. I got a new phone. I didn't get the login info back from him, and then the website went live, and I'm like, busy, but it's all good. Kids getting free.
Yeah,
I
so don't
identify
I.
as a kid.
Yep, same.
Jason at Crazy Hick Bait Company. We'll get to that in 1 second. Unreal. I would like to take my kid to it, but he's. Oh, yeah, I need one of those.
Right.
I think we're gonna take him to a trampoline park. So if I'm like not moving and kind of hobbling around the rest of the weekend, you know why? Because dumb fat ass me was like, yeah, trampolines, awesome, and I immediately regret it every single time, and it hurts.
So listen, the donations just keep pouring in.
What?
So you guys are incredible. I'm pretty sure already tonight we're over $250 already. Dan was 120. Dave $100.
And I gotta write it down. I don't want to forget.
Ben $10, which is incredible. John paid 20. You guys, this is awesome. It's like Christmas.
All over again. You guys.
But save your pennies because I'm going to show some really cool rods. You'll likely want to get in on that.
You guys are insane. I love you all so much. Thank you very much. I'm going to reiterate them again. David, thank you for the $100. Dan, thank you for the 120. Ben, thank you for the 10. John, thank you for the 20. Did I miss anybody? Who's this one?
I don't know. They just keep pouring in. I don't know how to work that phone. It's something called an Android. I don't do that.
Yeah, it's for smart people.
Sure.
Thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it. You're the best. There you go, Dan. $12 free parking for the expo. Cam, do you have to buy tickets ahead of time or can you just show up? Haven't had expos in a while. I believe you can just show up, and I remember seeing earlier that Dan had said that they will have masks inside for those that would like them, but they are not mandatory. So depending upon what your feelings are on that, all good. Whatever you want to do, makes it work. I still went to the trampoline park with my stepson. Jeez, altitude.
It's pretty epic.
Okay, hey Jays, I'll take you up on those tubes. I have a couple of pack suit tubes and
Do
swim
you have
baits.
glow tubes though?
I don't have the glow tubes yet. So we should probably also mention the elephant in the room, or lack thereof.
Me?
Andrew's not here.
Oh yeah.
He's in Florida. He's out fishing. He sent us a picture. What was that video of dolphins?
Womp, womp, womp,
Womp, womp, womp. Drew, thank you very much for the donation, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
I
Andrew.
got you threw in the reminder.
Yeah.
By the way, John, you're gonna get that,
Yeah.
that rod done, right, bud?
So Andrew is down in Florida. He sent us a video today of some dolphins, and then apparently he was wetting the line. He said he broke off on something huge.
Catfish.
Yeah, it was probably an alligator or crocodile, whatever is down where he is.
Everything.
It was probably actually a dolphin or whatever that big bird was that he sent us.
Yep. Chris, thank you very much, buddy. Another $10 donation from Mr. Chris there.
Oh, he's cutting glow tubes right now.
You're
That's-
amazing. Thanks, dude. Oh.
I'm not gonna be able to stand to show off this rod. Oh, those are incredible. Laying Lakers on them.
We've done our intro.
Yeah.
We're time to get into it. So we're here to talk about rods, open water, casting, spinning, ice for everything, and then we have time. We also have our graphs for ice fishing because I really want to get some time into ice fishing. It deserves its time. So we're gonna get into that if their time allows for it. Otherwise, let's get into it, buddy. Let's talk open water rods.
Yeet. So,
Lead off.
all right. One thing that we talk about. So obviously, I was on the show a while back now. We talked some rods, but we didn't really get into the nitty gritty. But one thing I did touch on was the fact that a lot of people need to understand that just because the Wicked Custom Rod aspect is driven to be more technique specific or things of that nature, you can get a medium heavy rod or a medium light, and you can throw whatever you want on it that is within the weight rating. Sean and I were talking about it on lunch today, and there are plenty of times where even myself, so I think I carry 11 rods with me when I go fishing, and there are times where I actually fish my surroundings. So what I mean by that is we have a local lake here that we've gone to. It is full of milfoil and, big lily pads, and kind of has like these floating root balls occasionally. And then it has one open patch. So there's times where I'm going to take a more stout rod and I'm going to throw something on the lighter side just so I have that capability to rip it through the weeds, and get that action going. So I'll use a bladed jig as an example. So I have my, 7.3 medium heavy fast is what I have for my jig rod, right? I'll throw my chatterbaits on that, my half-ounce chatterbait with a trailer, and I'll literally rip the thing through. There's plenty of times, too, where I'll go for more of, my cranking, my lipless rod and my crankbait rod. I'll throw other light tackle on that as well. Again, just because of what I'm fishing. And I think that's important for everyone to keep in mind that, when you're reaching out for something, especially with myself, you can tell me you want me to build whatever. I literally will build anything for anyone besides Sean.
Sad noises. I'll be in the snow pile.
And I'll give you all the information that I can in my suggestions.
Hey, Carl.
Exactly. Drew has his swim bait rod. He has a midnight edition. And I mean, he said that it's rated for 1 ounce. I mean, if you're throwing a half or a 3/4 with a trailer, you're pretty damn close to that. As long as you're peeling line off, yeah, your action might not be perfect. But again, I don't know too many people besides this guy and anyone else that's that adamant on making sure they have the perfect rod for it. But even so, Sean said today, he has his moments where he's going to throw, something on a different rod than what it would be rated for. I forget what some of the examples were that you made.
Yeah, so one perfect example. There was a spot Andrew and I went to several years ago. First trip out of the year, and it's teeny tiny pond down in Mass near the Cape. Super shallow. No joke, the average depth there was 4 feet. And there's tons of vegetation. I think there's one pocket that's like maybe 6 feet deep. And we had a really good feeling that a lipless crankbait was going to work. So we started throwing it on what I would typically throw on for a lipless crank. But the problem was they weren't biting anywhere near the boat. You had to bomb this thing and get it way the hell away from the boat. And they were biting it. Like almost every single bite we got was at the end of like a 150-foot cast. It was insane. But when you're throwing it so far and you're throwing, you got a little bit of stretch from your fluoro, and you think typically what you throw for treble hook baits is something like a medium light, medium, right. Maybe something that's halfway between a medium heavy, but usually something fairly supple. And it was too light, even though I was only throwing like a 3/4 ounce, well, 3/4 ounce a couple times, but like a half-ounce lipless crankbait. By the time it would hit, I'd try and catch up to the slack and like get it moving, and I'm already buried in the grass. I had all my rods with me, and there's a couple I wasn't using for anything, and I got thinking, I was like, well, what if I just put my reel on my 7.2 heavy rod? And I remember Andrew and I talking about it. He's like, isn't that overkill for that? I'm like, yeah, in most cases, but because of this specific scenario where I am bombing this, like legitimately 150-foot casts, and we need to immediately get it up and keep it up just over the top of this really, really shallow vegetation. And the moment I made that switch, boom, it like everything clicked, and we started catching, like I started catching fish after fish. Didn't really light it up, but like still, like it was the difference. So by all means, if you want to, yeah, you can get rods that are very, very, very specific in their builds for one-off techniques. I do that for 2. My jig rod and my drop shot rod. Those 2, actually now 3, the Okashira, or my what I call my ultra finesse rod, right, was specifically built only to throw like 1/16 ounce and less baits. I mean, you can throw 1/8 and 1/4 ounce, but the intent of that rod was like ultra lightweight stuff that I can still bomb 100 plus feet. Other than that, like every other rod I have handles a whole range of stuff, and that's the most important thing that I want you to keep in mind when it comes to looking at any rods you're looking at buying. If you don't have a ton of money to buy a ton of rods and you want something that can like just pay most attention to power and weight rating on what it can do, and then don't even bother reading like what kind of rod it is. Like, St. Croix Mojos, they have the spinnerbait model. All my loose rods, they're, it's like all-purpose casting. Right. There's cranking, there's jig and worm, like things like that. Don't worry about it. Just pay attention to the power and what rate, like what weight it can handle, and you'll be good. And then just pick up baits that work within that. If anything, pay more attention to your gear ratio on your reel, because depending upon what that is, you might be going too fast for certain techniques or anything. But there is a whole wide range of rods that will absolutely work for every single technique. On the high and low end of those ranges, yeah, it might have a little bit of trouble, but you can still do it. That's my point. So don't get too hung up on specifics unless you really want to, but by no means do you have to.
That was spot on. Didn't even have to jump in. I'm glad he remembered. So the funny,
about that all
funny
day.
part is down here between my legs, I got some weight. Like this. Look at this.
Wildly inappropriate. Okay, so I couldn't find another bucket. I went to the store and I couldn't find a bucket with a handle, okay? I raided my garage. I found a sand castle bucket for my kids with no handle. I'm like, I got zip ties. We'll make it work.
So here's what we got.
20 ounces of lead in it. Boop, boop.
So we actually have, I know. Someone asked earlier about the rod, if it fell. It didn't fall. We actually have a setup that you guys can't see over here that's holding the handle. We're actually going to load up some rods tonight. So we have 20 ounces of weight in here. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. I apologize. And literally some 50-pound braid. We're going to loop it over the tips of the rod. We're going to show you some of the action that we were talking about. Some of the power, not the action as much. But again, keep in mind, every rod except the one that we're about to show you is fast. So they'll all have the same action. This is an extra fast. The one behind me is 7'2" medium light. built on a North Fork composites. So to explain, this rod behind me is literally top of the line that I make. I have carbon fiber grips on it. I have titanium guides. And this is my finesse rod. Really, it's not even my drop shot. So I have a 7-foot that I use for my drop shot. But when I tell you this is ultimate, but keep in mind, if I was to build this, I could use this blank and use just regular alkanite guides or anything like that to bring your cost down or anything. For me, I'm a big bottom contact guy. I love throwing just a little Ned, as much as I hate to even show it. This is a Guggen bait. Don't ever tell anyone that.
It's not really. Yes, it is. Just kidding.
Hey, if it works,
It does.
it works.
But-
Who gives a shit who makes it?
This way. It's a 1/10 ounce head that I have this on. And it was all that I could get bid on while we were up on...
In Vermont.
In Vermont.
In Vermont.
Excuse me. On our 2-day fishing tournament that we had. It was a really tough day for me. A tough day for my co-angler. And I was the only one that actually put fish in the boat. The worst part is that's the last time I fished.
Was it really?
It was in October.
You haven't even beat the bank at all?
I haven't been able to.
Oh,
For anyone
that's
that
sad.
doesn't know, I caught the Rona, I don't know, right after we got home, basically.
It was like a month ago now. A little
Was
over a
it?
month.
Yeah, it must be.
It was like the first week of November.
All right, so yeah, we're almost at the end of December.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So that's why you guys didn't see me in the chat or really online at all. I had to shut everything down and couldn't go in my shop because I had to make sure I was safe, make sure everyone else was safe.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's not here nor there because
Keep
we
that
got
shit
this
to
sweet
yourself.
rod. So I'm gonna just show too. If anyone has questions too, feel free to let them roll in the chat because I am gonna show on my website. So I do have a full-blown website for anyone that doesn't know. I'm not just on social media. I do have wickedcustomrodsllc.com. And I have all this available so you can actually see them, but I brought them with me. They're not glued, so if you see any gaps, it's really just because I don't have anything put together. So I offer a standard cork right here. Occasionally there'll be a little rubberized piece on the end. It changes it up a little bit. We have foam. So these are your two options that I normally start everyone with. Pricing wise, these two will not impact if I tell you cork or foam, anything like that. And then we have wind grips, which is this. So
Love
you
wind
might
grips.
not be able to. Here we go. So it's
It kind of comes in.
it's a rubberized coating over foam. Really nice for those wet days, in my opinion. It's not like rough at all. It's pretty smooth, but it's just enough that it gives you that extra grip. And then we have my latest gem that I've really been going with. For anyone that can see that, I don't even have to get close. That is carbon fiber.
And it's amazing. Although I want you to address Carl's comment right there before we go too much further. Carl did say, carbon fiber reel seats are pointless unless the blank is directly connected with the seat, which for the most part, it isn't the case.
So, I don't think that you're wrong. The biggest thing.
I say this with all due respect. That ain't worth a golden gilded.
So yes,
Anchorman.
there's still a level of sensitivity, and keep in mind, I've had a lot of rods in my hand. If you are adamant on, going out and fishing one type of bait, I can tell you right now that, having the carbon fiber grips, even on the regular carbon reel seat that I have this attached to, is definitely still more sensitive than feeling it through cork, or foam.
And I can personally attest to that because I essentially have two identical rods built by John.
Yep.
One and titanium guides on both, correct?
Yes.
But one has, my drop shot rod has the smooth carbon reel seat as such, and then the other one has wind grips. It's a noticeable difference. It's definitely not a huge difference, but it is a distinct difference.
So just because, Carl, I'm not disagreeing, but there are also upgraded reel seats as well. So with the reel seat itself, you can get ones that are mounted more direct to the blank itself. There are actually reel seats on the market that as you go down and you're holding the grip, you're where I hold my hand, my pinky and the inside of my palm are actually touching the blank. If you have direct contact, obviously everything's going to radiate through that. It's just like I just said, it's direct. So there are plenty of reel seats out there. And again, this is all stuff that I discuss with customers as well, because you can get into it. I mean, excuse me, I think the most expensive reel seat I've had to buy so far was just shy of $100. That was at my cost just for the seat. That didn't even include any of the grips. So, I mean, there are guys that price out and build, $700, $800 rods, and then there's guys that are out there and they're comparing this to an off the shelf rod, and, a baseline just that I'll throw out there is, say $300. They're getting this rod and they're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and to have someone experience that and know that they can still go further, in my opinion, just from a business perspective. And not only that, to me, it's about growing the sport. If they get a rod like that and they say, man, I'm going to buy another one, or in this case, with Sean, I'm going to almost have all of my rods,
build them all.
Over.
I may or may not have another X-ray built rod on the way.
You have two right now. You have your Hustler and your jig rod.
Oh,
Don't look.
oh my God, I totally forgot.
That was the look of like my wife's watching. I got really nervous for a second.
No.
I'm just not getting.
All I know is that I'm covered. My money, don't worry. I got paid by the school for the coaching thing. I was like, John, here.
He literally came over with the letter. He's like, I got the golden ticket. Order these blanks. Titanium, everything. Carbon fiber, everything. All right, whatever you want, buddy. No, and I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Anything that you put in your hand that's different from what you're using, if I'm putting my name on it, I promise you it's going to be better than what you were using. Carl, I'll actually use as an example. I built a rod for Carl, and he was actually, he came back because he wasn't sure about it, but I'll tell you what, it ended up being his reel that he had on it. He had happened to change it out later on in the season, messaged me back, and he's like, this rod's incredible. And I'll give credit to him because, Carl, you are probably one of my number one customers that has honestly name-dropped rods that you're using, and really made me feel like, all right, I had something to show. I had something to prove there. Which, again, I'm not trying to boast or anything like that. I just think it's cool to know that people are out there that are reaching out and trying these rods.
Right.
And again, I mean, I've been doing this a few years now, and I've continued to grow and, gain traction with people like DJ and Sean, Andrew, and I mean, Carl just said it right there. He absolutely loves the rod. Little differences when you get into custom rods. I had a rod that I built, and I thought I screwed it up because I weighted the butt for my jig rod.
Yeah.
Well, I had a loose hypermag with a power handle. Come to find out, the power, it wasn't the actual, I didn't screw up on weighting the butt. The power handle was actually making the rod roll in my hand. And I ended up
switching over to a traditional handle, and I remember that, and you were like, yeah, dude, no, that was everything.
It was night and day. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I built the rod. I had the reel with me, but until I got out on the water and started throwing it, and I hooked up on those fish the day we went out and snuck in that really small spot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And I remember he watched me set the hook. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's something wrong. He's like, over your head. I'm like, I know, Dad. I know. I'm fine. But really, it took all of that for me to even realize it. And like, I started making minor changes. I switched to a wide spool reel for a little bit, and I still had a similar problem. And it took me going down. I ended up picking up a custom speed spool, I think.
Yep. Mark, everybody loves it.
But again, it's those types of things that, when you get into this customization that you start paying more attention to. And, weight's a big thing. So anyone that watched iCast this year, keep me if I'm rambling.
No, go ahead.
So Abu put out a reel and rod combination this year at iCast, and it's officially the lightest rod reel combo.
Really?
So here's the funny part: 7-foot rod, 2500 series reel, and it was 8.8 ounces, right? Spooled. that rod behind me, with a 3000 series reel spooled, came in at 9.2. And it's a 7.2.
That's pretty impressive.
So the weight of the rod itself is just over 3 ounces at 3.01 ounces. And again, that is rod, reel, grips, everything. There's nothing that's stripped off. It even has my logo on it.
Yep.
You know, that's the type of stuff people grab my rod and say, wow. No, but it's true. I mean, to find a rod like that, I mean, if you just weigh your rods and see what they weigh. Weigh your reel. Look at your boxes and just look. I mean, I know,
all of them should have it listed.
Yeah. You know, I pay attention to that now when I'm buying reels. That 3000 series, so I got it. It's the new Tatula spinning reel that got released. It's 6.2 ounces.
Yep.
Like, come on now. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Or that one might be 5.8. Something like that. I bought 2 different ones.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff comes into play. It's huge.
I do want to back up to the chat. There was one question that I saw from Brian. Do the carbon fiber grips ream the same way?
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't see what you're seeing.
So I went up to it and then like bailed.
So I actually reached out to NFC directly. So I'm actually in process of becoming a wholesale distributor of them, or I should say a wholesaled customer. I don't know how you put it. Because one of my things was this one in particular, Carl. I mean, Brian, thank you.
Yep.
The reel seat I brought with me is actually only a 16, not a 16-15, which is what I typically need for my larger diameter rods. It does ream out the same. What I will say is that the arbor that is built into it is way more sensitive. So if you go at it hard, you are going to just grind something in there that you don't want. I know I'm getting a little into the details of how I built it, but it's definitely something you got to be careful about.
There you go. Another question was from Shunamon. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. How much are those 7-foot medium heavy midnight editions going for? We ran a special last time we sold
did,
them.
yeah.
Didn't you like sell out of those that night?
I might only have one left.
Really?
I'd have to see. If you just DM me, because I don't want to say anything, because I'll give you the first stab at if I have one left. I might have one. I know I do have to build it if I do have one, but just shoot me a DM and I'll get back with you on that.
Robbie, read the pinned text. And nobody else is complaining about it because I'll bring it up again. It's probably why we're not getting a ton of viewers. People keep it spikes for how many people are here and then it immediately tanks.
Oh.
So they're probably not reading the pinned comment. For people that are still here that didn't see it yet, yes, there is a lag between audio and video that I wasn't able to fix before the stream that I will have fixed next week, but unfortunately I couldn't get fixed before the show.
Guess I'll have to come back.
Yep. Womp. And then, Cam wants to know, what's the price point on a custom drop shot rod, for example? I'm not really familiar with them, and now I'm interested.
So my baseline, and again, I will be very clear. I'm very upfront with everyone when it comes to my business and what I'll put my name on. My base ranges anywhere from $279. I mean, you guys heard the numbers before, all the way up to $800, depending on what it is. And I've built drop shots from that price range all the way up. I actually built one for myself and had it priced, and it ended up blowing out of the boat on the river. So I lost that rod. That was a painful day. Someone got really lucky, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, that would be even more unfortunate if that thing just sank to the bottom of the river.
Well, it floats. It's weird. It's like it's got some buoyancy to it.
Yeah.
So because originally when I had it in the water and I tossed it at the log I was stuck on.
Oh, yeah.
It was bobbing in the water. So I was like, God, come on, reel it up. Let's go. But
so we lightly touched upon reel seeds.
yes.
Let's talk about rod power, because I'm curious to show this off.
Yeah.
And then that way it will make the audio video desync not quite as noticeable. So when it comes to rod power, right? That's your medium light, medium heavy, heavy, extra heavy, the whole 9 yards. That is, in essence, where the backbone breaks.
Correct.
So, we want to showcase really what that difference looks like behind us. We got a bucket full of 20 ounces of lead. We're going to go ahead and hook it up to 4 different rods. You have one, I have that one. That's your medium light.
Yep.
That's medium heavy, and heavier out there. I'm going to get those. And just to really visually demonstrate, like, okay, like, oh, yeah, you say medium light, medium heavy, heavy. And how far from the tip down does that break? The lighter the rod, the more of the tip that breaks. But, like, what does that look like? So I had this idea earlier today, and we're like, hell yeah, we can make that work. So we figured out a way to rig up a rod on the wall. We got a bucket full of lead. Let's start demonstrating what this looks like. We're going to start, all of them are 7.2s. This is 7.3, close enough. 7.3 or 7.2s, and it's all going to go in the same mounting point, and it's the same bucket of weights. So without further
And they're
ado,
all NFC blanks, too.
right. So for those that are watching the podcast portion of this, because this is going to be on Spotify at some point, I really encourage you at this point to go ahead and go to YouTube and watch the video of this portion, because otherwise, again, if you're watching or listening just to the podcast point of this, I'm just going to cut right to the next point where we're not doing visual demonstrations. Jealous of that haze. Oh, dude, it was so good. Oh, I haven't had snow in a long time. Why am I walking away? Everything's already here. I was like already going out to get a rod.
Don't mind me. I got a issue with my bucket. I looped it around the non-existent handle. There we go.
Come on.
Got it. Don't worry, you're not zooming in. I'm just standing up. All right. I am looped my loop.
So again, if I move my microphone, this is the 7.3 medium light extra fast.
Yes.
Or see,
So keep in mind that you're not going to see the actual action of the rod. You're going to see the power. So literally, again, 20 ounces of lead in the bucket, this beautiful bucket. And I'm just looping it over. I'm going to softly bring it down so that way I don't shock the rod. If I can get it off my finger.
let it rip.
I'm trying.
Whoa. Is that gonna stay on there?
Yeah. I already tested it.
Oh, you're gonna get the tape.
Keep talking. All right. So I'm just literally letting it down. In this case, so again, I'm going to sit back down for a second. Well, I'm not going to sit down because I'll end up blocking everything. So this rod in particular here, the actual bucket is on the floor. So there's only about maybe 16 inches of lead on before the rod tip. But I want you to actually look. So we kind of kept the background here, so we're going to tape. You can see your medium light rod all the way over to here. You actually have backbone, right? So your backbone continues up, and then you really start to see it break. So if you actually look between your stripper guide itself and your second guide, you do have some breaking, but really where you're starting to really see it is at this crest point. So we're just marking them. And what we're going to do is just pop on another rod. And again, you can continue to see this load. So you got to think, right? Towards the tip here. When you have those, lighter, so I think I use 3/0 circle hook for my drop shot, or my 1/10 ounce finesse that I was talking about. You have this little rod, so you want that softer, action, that medium light. So when the fish starts to run, your rod's gonna load and keep it pinned. Versus, that's why you'll see Sean panic in the videos. You don't want that fish to come up and try and shake, because there's certain parts of the action of the rod that won't.
No, you don't.
That won't allow the fish to spit it. And that's that same thing, going back to like treble hooks with the crankbait rods and things like that. The action and the power is meant to help you along, not only with the baits, but also with the fish that you're catching. Smallmouth in particular, we talk about a lot. They're far more aggressive, in my opinion, when it comes to bringing them in and fighting them out of 50 or 60 foot of water. You want that forgiveness of the rod itself, and it's going to allow you to be soft. So picture, medium light. It's going to be exactly like it says, medium light.
Yep.
Always good.
Did you answer Cam? Is that what you were just answering?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't even see that.
So Cam Yates asked, I've gone through like 6 drop shot rods. I need something that is sensitive to where I can feel bites in 40 to 80 feet with a half-ounce weight, but I can also drive a hook into them and keep them pinned. Sir, allow me to introduce to you.
So here's
literally the rod built to do that.
So Sean challenged me. I say challenge. He gave me the opportunity to build a rod for him just for that. After going to the St. Lawrence
in 2019, the first trip we did,
he came back and said, I need not a better rod. I need a rod that's going to handle, 80 foot of water, current, and up to, you said just shy of 1/8. I think, so this one I want to say is rated up to 7/8 of an ounce, for 3/8 to 7/8, I believe it is. And this rod right here is a 7.2 medium fast. Sean fishes this rod all the time. A lot of his videos recently, actually, the bites have been coming on this rod. This rod, to me, honestly, I wouldn't say is perfect. If anyone is fishing that deeper water and you're going to be fishing some smallmouth, this is what I would point you to. Again, so a 7.2 medium versus a medium light, because it gives you that extra stout backbone, which we'll see. So again, keep in mind, we're going to tape where it breaks. Just give us a second here. We're going to switch out this rod, take off that pail, and then we'll show you the backbone of this rod. But this one would definitely bring you what you're looking for, Cam.
Yep, absolutely. I wrote it in the chat, but I'm curious. So my buddy Kyle just texted me, and he was just like, yeah, dude, the audio video desync is getting really bad. Is it? He was like, it's off by like 5 seconds. Is it really that bad now? Like, is that what you guys are all seeing? Because that's not good. And I that it's getting progressively worse is really problematic, because the previous delay when it first started of about a half second, yeah, sucks, but I could have lived with that. If it's really off by that much, then we might wrap this up sooner than later, because that's atrocious. I wouldn't want to put anybody else through that. So we're going to work through a few of these things more rapidly, and then probably come back next week to cover ice fishing. But I want to hear some more feedback, like just how bad is it? If most of you are like barely hanging in here because it's that bad, please be honest. Let me know.
Yeah, we're big guys, as you can see. Boom.
I can handle it. What's that meme? You can do it. You're a man. How bad's the audio? It's off terrible. Hit the table. We can see. Okay, ready? Hang on. We can do a clap. Ready? Could have done that over here. One more. Hammers, I love old karate movies. You got this. 1 second. It's only like a second delay. Okay. 1 second off, I can live with. If it really was like 5 seconds off, that would have been done. Like, okay, never mind. Let's quick show the rest of these actions. We're done. Again, not to say that a full second. You know what? Maybe we still will. Maybe we'll just come back next week for ice too. We'll see how it goes.
So what we might do then is just, if we want, we'll just, to get it going, we'll just load the rod by hand so we can see it.
That's true. We could. All right. Yeah, we'll just load the rest by hand then.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead and rig that one up. I'll get the other two rods I forgot to put in the room. They're just on the other side of this door.
I apologize for this delay. Just kidding, I'm not talking. Let me switch this out, or he's gonna be mad that I didn't get it done before you got back. Oops, you heard that, right? Bingo. All right. So now that I dropped my other
I'm
rod
back.
and everything else, Sean's back. You can probably hear him yelling.
All right. This ready? You already do it? See. All right. So you tell me.
All right. So again, this is a 7.2 medium that I was explaining to Cam. So 7.2 medium fast. So you can. Does it hurt to load it up? Just grab the actual tip of the rod.
No, it's fine.
All right. So again, keep in mind here, you can see. So the first one, we talked about the stripper guide showing a little bit of break. If you look, it's a little further up on this rod here. I would say you're initial bend is starting to go right about here. You know, again, if you look at the straight and then the rod, then really, you know, your breaking point is really more towards this center line here between these two guides. So to show off how much different we're looking, I would actually say it's even more like right here.
Yeah, I concur with that. So, medium, light, medium, both fast. No, yours was extra fast,
Right.
mine's fast.
Yep.
Still, like,
So
I
keep
got
it
a lot of weight on that right
Yeah.
now.
I was gonna say Sean's actually holding this
Give me the
line.
bucket.
Hand you the bucket.
I'm not even
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
loop it.
he-
I'll do it this way.
Yeah.
So to get real consistency.
So we actually have the rod held to the wall by two hangers. One's going up, one's going down. So it's actually holding this reel on. I mean, excuse me, the rod on.
There we go.
So now Sean actually has the bucket attached to it. I still would say the breaking point is still exactly where it is, which is pretty awesome.
I thought I was pulling it pretty hard. Apparently not.
So,
The bucket's on the ground.
yeah, I mean, but still, that's 20 ounces of weight. So I can actually go on. So when I view these rods, it's something I look at. I look at the schematics of the actual NFC site. They use either 24 ounce or 26 ounce, depending on the rod you're looking at. But it's that great example. So again, you have the forgiveness towards the tip, but you also have that stout backbone. This is literally going to give you that extra power to bury that hook through in 80 foot of water. Sean said it in one of his videos, so I use it all the time. You know, Sean, when he first tried the rod out, he's like, even in 80 foot of water, he's like, I swear I could feel a goby fart.
That's like hardly an exaggeration, by the way, either. I swear to God, we were out on the St. Lawrence River fishing in 65 feet of water with 1 ounce weights against current
Right.
with lead weights, mind you, 65 feet down, and I could feel every single goby tap. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I cannot. If that doesn't give you an idea of how sensitive this rod is, imagine a little shiner that you would use for ice fishing, because it's literally like the size of a lot of what these gobies are over there. Just coming over and going blip, 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 blip on your bait in 65 feet of water in current so hard that my trolling motor at 80 pound thrust, 24 volt, was maxed out, like almost at just about maxed out, almost at 100% power to keep up with the current in the river. And even with all that drag and everything, I still felt that's insane. That should speak volumes to the sensitivity of this build out.
Absolutely. So I think, you know, again, Cam, I'm not afraid to explain it. Yes, the rod I have built for Sean is, you know, in that $500 to $600 range. I could build on the same blank and use cheaper guides. And I say cheaper does not mean quality.
No.
Again, because I'm very clear, I do not put my name on something that I would want someone to pick up and be like, oh, what the hell is this? What do you mean you bought this from a custom rod company? So again, it is the lighter option. How about that? And again, you can go wind grips, which are half the cost of, you know, carbon fiber, or you can go with the foam and the cork. You're still gonna be more sensitive. And in that case, you know, you keep yourself down in that, you know, mid 3 level. Again, so I'm not afraid to talk shop and talk price or anything like that,
I swear to God,
because
I'm not trying
again,
to do
some
this.
of it is based off of curiosity, and you know, there's other things I can build on. I could build this same exact you know, rod setup on an MHX Elite X, which before I got into NFC were my go-to. And that's what my personal drop shot actually is still. You know, minus my finesse rod that I have, the one I use for drop shotting is a 7-foot medium light, which is actually what Sean also started his first drop shot on from Wicked Custom Rods. So, you know, a high end of that is, you know, in the $400 range, but again, you're getting better guides. And in my opinion now, after using so many of them and getting the feedback of, you know, really quality people fishing them, you know, still
Quality.
a very, very good blank, but it's not the top of the line. If someone comes in and tells me I'm going to go all out, like Mark did, and Mark, if your wife is near you, I'm sorry. You know, Mark goes, hey, I want this jig rod. Let's just go all the way. I was like, okay. So, and he's like, I'm going to work some overtime. Don't sweat it. And I was like, all right, cool, man. He's like, send me the invoice. But Mark came to me. I forget how he found me. Started with a midnight edition rod. Loved it. Bought another swim bait rod and actually bought an NFC swim bait 8-foot rod. And then now I'm building him a jig rod and an ice rod. So,
Yeah.
I'm talking about it's word of mouth and repeat customers, but the quality speaks for itself. So,
Absolutely goddamn absolutely.
yeah, now I think we're going to put up a shitty loose rod. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. I have a ton of loose stuff, so I just bust his balls every chance I get.
Every chance. And you should.
I do.
And actually, that is something that I do want to cover too, because I know a lot of our discussion so far has been on custom stuff. Do not worry, we're going to cover a lot of loose stuff as well, for obvious reasons. Not just because I'm sponsored by them. Again, I have the opportunity to say no to the sponsorship every year. It's not like I signed some long-term contract. Every year they ask, "You still in?" I'm like, absolutely. They're awesome. They've treated me really well. So we're going to cover a lot of their rods, because I have a couple of rods from their different series that I absolutely want to make sure we cover for guys that are looking for just like off the shelf stuff.
Yes.
But backing up in the chat, Robbie, it's hammer time. He's the guy we fished with up in Vermont back in September. So you had a question. I'm pretty familiar with the polar differences between glass and carbon. Where's graphite fall in the spectrum, and is there a strong point?
So that's a good question. Really, for me, a lot of it that I stick to is the glass and the graphite. So I think actually NFC does like a IMH, which is a hybrid of the two of them, and I've used some of those. They're very good. From my standpoint, I don't have a lot of feedback for you on that, unfortunately, just because I kind of stick to that sweet spot where to extend out, I've done a lot of R&D on the rods that I use now, and I haven't had too much ask for anything else. So really almost everything besides my ice rods that I sell are all carbon. So.
Oh, wait, I can just answer this. Dave, sorry, I was typing an answer, but then John finished talking sooner than I was expecting. We have fished Maine. I did one time 3 years ago out of a tin boat, Little John boat. I haven't been back because the problem is for me to get there, I got to go 101 out to the seacoast and take 95 up through Portsmouth into Kittery. Anybody that knows that highway knows it is a joke on Sundays.
Yeah.
If you think 93 south is bad, at least you can get around it back roads, especially like where I go from my house. So like if I get home, like if I leave Lakes Region kind of late on a Sunday, I just jump off exit 17 off 93 and like, okay, I only have another 20 minutes to drive, and it's just beautiful, like, 40, 50 mile an hour back roads. It's amazing. It's a great drive. You cannot do that to get back over the damn border from they're good. They got it. It's just it's a nightmare. So that's why I haven't been to Maine, even though Andrew and I have been talking about it literally for the last 3 years. I got to get out there more.
I'm closer. I am closer to Maine.
Yeah,
I do usually ice. I'll go up to Sebago.
Oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Andrew and I were talking about that. I think we kind of want to try that overnight trip.
Yeah, Tommy, a kid, I don't know if anyone saw my recent post. He ordered 9 ice rods. And he was telling me that literally as soon as it ices, he's up there, and he stays up there every weekend. Every Saturday and Sunday he's there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'll probably make a few trips up that way.
What did Hammer say? For a stiffer Laker ice rod with a soft tip, what would you lay up? Whoa. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll come back to that, Robbie. We're specifically going to cover that. Let's finish up the rods. We got 2 more. I don't want to put too much time in between them all. So, in case you're curious what's on the end of that, I don't know if that'll stay in focus. Oh, what's that?
Is that an open water sniper?
Oh, it is. It's the hybrid. In case you couldn't tell, it's got a little bit of marabou hair.
Hair.
All of a
So
sudden
you're
I was
gonna
like,
bury
wouldn't-
that in your finger? You gonna be the Andrew tonight? We're gonna be drinking because of you? You gonna
Maybe.
stab yourself with that?
Maybe.
He's
We'll see. All right, so
I might just.
take this. And then the plus side is I can just hang the bucket on the jig.
Oh yes.
Smart.
Well,
Don't
that's
hook me.
crazy.
If anyone watched the video that I just posted of Andrew and I's insane day with the smallmouth, like literally right off the bat, he hooked me with his jig.
I haven't gotten to watch
It was pretty good. He hooked me in the hood, but it was good. Crisis
it. All
alert.
right, so we got the tip's a little bit out of screen on this one, and I apologize. This rod is not his lose rod. This is his original Dragon Custom Tackle built jig rod that I am basically rebuilding, but on an even more stout blank.
Yep, more stout blank.
A little
and
bit
spinning
longer.
setup.
No.
Oh, well,
Well, wait. Yes. So technically,
there's two.
Technically, he's
So there's
Go ahead.
the jig rod. So this is a 7.2 medium heavy fast. It's a North Fork Composites X-ray blank. It's got not titanium guides, but
sick, right?
yeah, the SIC guides,
Yeah,
the
they're sick.
carbons or whatever.
Yeah, they're sick rings, but not titanium frames.
Right.
To be clear.
Dragon Custom Tackle tried to get in custom rod building at one point. It was a nightmare of an experience working with North Fork at the time, so he was just like, nah. But this was
Years ago.
3 or 4 years
Yeah.
ago now. I think it was 4 years ago now. But so John is literally building me this exact rod blank, but the new generation on a spinning setup, which is what I'm really excited about.
I was so excited I bought myself one.
and
And that's true. Don't think I
nice.
don't think I just get to charge everything because it's a business. I have to buy my own shit. It's expensive.
Yes, it is. Did he put the label on that?
Yes.
Carl wants to know, is it the SJ 726 or 725?
I believe it's actually the 736 one.
I think you're right.
Let me check. It is the 736 one. I am that
736
good.
one. So
Oh, my lord.
we can show this off. So again, 7.2 medium heavy fast. Load it up the bucket so we can show you it. But so I covered the spinning rod is identical to this with titanium guides and smooth carbon fiber grip.
Yes.
And then my jig rod is a 7.3 heavy fast. I want something that's a smidge longer, a little bit more power. And that's also going to have titanium guides and smooth carbon fiber grip.
Yep.
But same series rod, North Fork Composites X-ray. I can't wait for that rod.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Let's load this bad boy up. See if we can't break stuff.
So this one I'm just gonna put my hand on because it's the first casting rod, so we don't know what it's gonna go. And then just make sure you don't shock it. Let it just keep going.
I think one of my guides is broken.
Oh fuck! Yeah. Well, that's not supposed to be flat, everyone. All right.
That's actually kind of surprised. But you know what? And so the funny thing is, and this is where like you kind of run into those in between rods, right? It's a medium heavy,
Yeah.
but it's like more on the medium side of medium heavy.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about this rod, because I can sling a like naked 3/8 ounce football jig with just a trailer on it, no skirt, which whatever, the skirt doesn't make really any difference. You can even throw a 1/4 ounce jig on this and it will bomb, but it can still, like, even though the action on this breaks pretty far, that's still a lot of backbone.
Yeah.
And I can throw us, and I have thrown a 3/4 ounce football on this with like a 5-inch jig trailer, 150 foot casts, 175 foot, and I still pin them on those long hook sets.
And I mean, anyone that knows Beast Coast, they use those stout gamakatsus, right? Is what they use. They are incredible, especially like their Gorilla series. Holy shit, those things are incredible. So the only thing I am going to display is, because I'm sure the tape probably looks a little off, keep in mind that the handles are at different lengths now because this is a casting rod. But still, the thing that I want to keep in mind is that there is still that overarching, Sean explained it. This is more on the side of that medium heavy, but the medium side of it. But still, you have that fast tip that is still going straight down. Anyone that's continued to watch Sean's, videos that he's doing, he is laying into this rod. He has a ton of hook sets just based on, some of the videos he's done, and he really just hammers on this thing, which is why I'm so excited too to get that heavy in his hands, because it's gonna be incredible. Beast Coast jigs, anyone that hasn't used them, get on that level. They don't sell out for no reason. They are absolutely incredible. I have a full jig box and then also backup jigs on my wall at my house, down in my shop. So
I literally have 4 Plano 3700s full of just Beast Coast jigs.
you didn't have to one-up me. That was like a 4-up, but it's okay.
And then I have a 3600 that's also full of more Beast Coast jigs.
True.
I have 5 cases just dedicated to jigs. I like jigs. Yeah, Carl, like, that's the thing. Like, it is a great finesse jig rod, but it can do both. You can literally throw anything on this. I've thrown a 1/4 ounce hustler on this, and I've thrown a 3/4 ounce Maxfield tungsten football jig from Beast Coast. And it feels right, which is why when I wanted another spinning rod, I told John, I'm like, dude, build me that identically, because for spinning, like, that covers everything. Yeah. And like that better balances out the arsenal that I have for like this really cold water fishing this time of the year, right? Like,
That's
I've got
exactly what I was just gonna say.
I've got 2 wicked light duty rods, and like,
Jesus,
all good.
You want to just unload this rod so we don't have to worry about that anymore? It's gonna go way up. So yeah. All right. Sorry. I feel better.
I've got those
Sweating.
like 2 wicked light duty rods. I've got 2 mediums from Lew's, and then I've got a medium heavy fast, which was one of my first wicked custom spinning rods. But it's rated. The funny thing is, it's rated 3/8 to 3/4. But it really lives more happily in that 1/2 to 3/8. 3/4. The moment you get down, like even a 1/2 ounce, it's like you can still cast pretty far, but not really.
This one you're talking about?
No. The 6'9" medium heavy fast.
Oh yeah,
spinning
yeah.
rod.
Oh, gotcha.
And but dude, you throw a 3/4 ounce on that thing, and it loves it. Like, that's its happy range. It honestly is like a 3/4 to 1 ounce rod. But I wanted something that like could kind of cover the whole spectrum, so I just had a little bit more option. If I'm going really finesse, okay, now I have 3 rods. If I'm going really heavy, I've got 3 rods. So that's what I love about this. It can do everything. But so the important thing, the reason I brought this rod, so now I have a Lew's custom speed stick. It's their $150 line. This is a medium heavy fast 7.2 as well. So it's literally the same as this 7.2 medium heavy fast. But I'm curious, where did this load up?
So because we were so far, it was right in line with this, but it was more of an arch versus like a hard break.
Like a hard break. Okay.
So just keep that in mind. Again, I know we talked about it a little. I'm just going to reiterate it. There is a gap between the audio and video. No, I'm just kidding. That's not where I was going with that. This is a casting setup. So the blue tape was showing our spinning. So we're looking at more of the power of the rod now. That one was a sweeping. If I had to guess, this is you said it's also a medium heavy, right?
Yep.
So this is a production brand, not NFC blank. So we're just going to do a test. This is live. We have no idea what this is going to do. If it's the same, great, but I don't think it will be.
But it would be a good representation of what is essentially the same rod, but 2 entirely different, not only brands, but also 2 different tiers of quality of material, essentially.
Yes. Yep. I'm going to have to hold this one up.
Okay.
At least so it's straight.
Oh, yeah, dude. You can already see it.
Perfect. All right.
So that's crazy.
That is actually awesome. I want to do a side-by-side comparison. We'll have to edit some video after this, but wow.
I'm actually like
me
beyond surprised by that.
Anyone else that can see it, please let us know if you can actually see that difference in the chat. That's substantial. I mean, the breaking point of that rod really is towards the second piece of the tape, but there's not much break anywhere else. And there are also too, they make blanks too that are multi-point blanks, which means they break in multiple spots. That's not what we were just looking at, so there's no magic going on here. I'm only holding the rod straight so that way it doesn't roll off the pegs that we have it on. But that's substantially different. But again, keep in mind, I will tell you, I've thrown this rod personally and shod the boat because I think I broke off or broke my reel or whatever happened.
No, so we were at what used to be my local honey hole, and I had this rigged up with a floral leader, but you were throwing straight braid.
Yes.
And that was literally the difference that day.
Yep.
Was you had to have fluorocarbon or at least a floral leader, right?
Yep.
And I had that. I was just using my jig rod straight forward. I was cracking him, and he wasn't. I'm like, literally the only difference between you and I right now is you're straight braid and I have fluoro, and the water's actually kind of clear. So I hand him this rod, and immediately he started cracking fish.
Yeah, we were throwing same color because it's the same thing. We talk about it all the time when we break down videos. That's what we do. Even when I'm out there, it's not just Sean and Andrew that consistently talk while they're out on the water. It's just you don't see me in the videos because 9 times out of 10 it's pouring.
Right.
But
no joke.
It's only raining when we're fishing, right? But still, for a production line rod, $150, the rod is very nice. Like, I would get one myself. Don't get me wrong. Before I started building rods, guys, I was buying the 2-for-1 6 gill rods because I didn't know
I had tons of those.
how much more I wanted to get into certain baits.
Yeah.
So do I want to go out and spend even $150? Well, if I can spend $150 on 6 gill and get 2 different rods and 2 different actions and 2 different powers, as long as they're the same series, dude, I was all for it. I think I bought like 9 rods one year.
Right.
And, you know, I've passed them along. Andrew has one because he got mad one day and broke his rod over his leg. That was hilarious, but don't tell him that.
Only time I've ever seen that dude really lose his patience.
Yeah, it was bad. We were far away and we heard him grunt, and I watched him snap his rod over his leg. So I gave him a free one.
It was a tough summer.
Yeah.
It was a really tough summer. Yeah. Real quick, Shunaman. I have a couple from Lead Free Bass Jigs out of Stoughton, Mass from Ken and McGee. Great jigs, like supporting local guys too. You mean these 70 jigs that I just got yesterday in the mail from Lead Free Bass Jigs?
Yeah.
I love Ken. I love his company. I've been buying jigs from him probably for the last 6 years now.
All right, my hand's falling asleep. Unload this thing.
Oh, wait.
Wait. Like the 20 ounces of weight that's in
Yes, that 20 ounces of weight. So
I don't even know where I'm going to tell you this is breaking.
Well,
Forward of the
I kind of, well, that's the thing. But I mean, so that was,
like, it's very stout. It's very, very stout. But for the difference of what we just saw.
Well, it's weird, right? Because like you have your arc here where it's breaking, but where it really breaks is kind of down like right here.
Yeah,
like
it's like where the action is.
It's bending, but like right here is really where it starts to take that hard dive. So like I kind of want to call it right here.
I almost do,
to be honest.
But yeah.
Like again, somewhere in here, like
for what it is, everyone. I mean, it's just our opinion. You guys can formulate what you got to, but that again was the same size, same action, same power. We just showed you the same amount of weight. That doesn't lie. That was a live test that we just did. The only thing I did was hold the rod straight.
Yeah.
Sorry, my arm's sleeping from holding that.
Take that one.
Got it.
All right, and I'll take this one.
So this here is another custom speed stick, but this is a heavy fast. So same length, different power, same action. I'm gonna load it up. I'm gonna hook Sean with massive bait.
That's my striper chasing bait. I was rigged and ready. I was ready to go for stripers, and then the weather said no.
It's a hard no. Hard no.
So don't pay attention to what this hook is either. It's not important.
All right.
So 7.2 heavy fast.
Yes. You can already see how much more.
That bucket's so high. That's it.
Wow. So I'm just holding the rod to the wall again. I'm not putting any pressure. There you go.
That's like here.
Well, you talk about your power. Now, like this is heavy. So
here,
this is
roughly,
the next thing that you are looking at is extra heavy. So you got your broomstick next.
Away.
All right. That right there is incredible. To see where this is breaking, again, you have plenty of help. You know, you have your guides, you have that great angle. We are only using 20 ounces, but it was a constant. It was Sean probably bought the tackle shop out of what they had for lead.
Maybe.
But again, you know, you still have backbone all the way up here. You talk about burying those hooks, but now keep in mind, you know, when you're looking at this rod here, if you have a 3/4 ounce Gorilla swim jig on this and you're plowing through massive lilies and you get a big fish that comes on and it jumps, all of this is going against you, really. You know, this is where that, you know, medium heavy is going to be a little bit more forgiving. Can it accept the bait you're throwing? Yes or no? I would have to once we unload it, Cam, I will let you know what the weight rating is on that.
I think it's 1 ounce. And you know what? Because we're at this and I just find this utterly fascinating, I got another rod because it's another lose rod. It's a different tier. It's not quite the same. Sorry, I gotta get in front of the mic. I'm probably not even that audible. It's not quite the same, but it's close enough. And I'm just, for the sake of like, I really want to see different friggin' series of rods to see like what are the differences. And this isn't that far off from the drop shot rod that I have that you built me. So I'm like, okay, let's really see what the difference here is.
This is insane. I can't believe. I wish I wasn't so shocked, because I promise this is not like. I'm blown away. I can't believe that just happened the way it has. These last few rods. I'm glad the audio is only 1 second off.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's rated 3/8 to 1. I'm almost positive that's what it's rated to. Don't hook, mate.
3/8 to 1 ounce. The man knows what he's doing.
Sometimes. So that's we didn't put tape up, but that broke over
Yeah,
here.
that was way over. I couldn't get the tape and hold the rod at the same time.
So pretty consistent. The only really the outlier was my jig rod, that North Fork.
I wouldn't say it's an outlier though.
No, sorry, you're right, not an outlier, because that's really the intention of that build, right?
Right.
Okay, this one we have to be a little more careful of because it's got a treble hook. So, but what this is, I got to get in frame with this a little bit. So, this is the Team Lew's Custom Pro Speed Stick. This is like the first series of rods I really started fishing with when I got with Lew's. I love these rods. Like for their price point, $220, they're phenomenal off-the-shelf rods. I absolutely love them. I was fishing all St. Croix before I got with Lew's, and these blow the pants off of the Mojo Bass, which really isn't fair to say anyway because they're two entirely different price points. Like this is about $100 more, so it's not quite 2x. It's close enough. This is a 7-foot medium moderate fast, and just because of what we're seeing, I'm really curious to see. The thing I like about this rod, it's like my soft plastics rod. I've used this as a jig rod, which is kind of crazy to think of, but I've thrown a 1/2 ounce jig rod on this. You're pushing the limits of it, but I was shocked. Like, dude, I pulled some good bass straight out of timber, like buried in trees with a 1/2 ounce jig, and I horsed them out with this rod. So even though it's probably going to be pretty spongy.
Yeah, that's my thought.
7-foot medium moderate fast. But it was before my custom jig rod was done. That's how old this rod is.
Oh, okay.
It was the first one I got, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get this. And I just remembered, like, at the time before I really started learning about rods.
It literally speaks to what we were saying earlier. If it lands in the weight rating, you can make it work.
Yep, and it's rated 1/8 to half. So it's actually a phenomenal soft plastics rod because that, like, most of my like Texas rig plastics I like to throw are 1/4 ounce and 3/8 ounce weights. So it's stout enough that I can still horse fish out of like moderate vegetation and timber, but supple enough that if I want to throw like a 4-inch lizard with a 1/8 ounce weight, I can throw it on this casting gear without batting an eye.
Right.
So I'm just, while we're at this, and I find this so fascinating, I want to see how this is going to break.
So I think after this one, we'll wrap up some open water
And
see
start
if there's
covering
any
ice.
I think we've been paying attention to everyone's comments as they're coming in.
Yeah, you know what? It's already 9:30. We're gonna do ice on a totally separate stream, which I think is gonna be best anyway, because then we can really open up what it is we're discussing.
I like that. I can already see how fun.
So
Looks like we're driving through friggin' Tijuana.
before I do this, start thinking about questions you want to ask that like we didn't really address, because like I know we've been talking a lot,
Yeah.
like mostly structured, but also kind of like generically speaking. If there's anything more specific that we haven't covered yet, like now is the time to ask those questions because I want to get them done. Gordy, thank you for watching, buddy. Have a good night.
Gordy.
All right, so 7-foot, medium, moderate, fast, rated 1/8 to 1/2 ounce on the Team Lew's Custom Pro Speed Stick.
If I had to guess, it's
probably way back there.
It's gonna be back here.
Dude, look at the treble on this.
I know, it's kind of scary.
Oh my god.
It's gonna touch the floor, I bet.
Probably. Yep. Down she goes.
That's cute. How's your guide spacing?
Not good.
No, not good at all. Yeah,
Dude,
so
touching the rat. Wow. But like,
right about where I said.
yeah. But like,
But there's
that plays
You're
into
gonna
exactly what I was saying about why I like this for soft plastics.
Yeah.
It's still really supple for really light duty stuff, but there's enough backbone there that you can still set the hook from a distance.
I mean, I know it's coming out of me, but you still have a lot there. I mean,
I would say about half the rod.
I'd throw a jig on that.
Yep. Yeah, like dude, this for like spider jigs, open water sniper jigs, hustlers.
Yeah.
Phenomenal rod for all those kind of things.
Definitely. That's the
pretty
thing.
incredible.
Keep in mind again. So this is a medium, right? Is that what we said?
Yeah,
Medium?
but that's the most incredible thing. Is the spacing of the guides.
Yeah.
Beyond that point, literally at the breaking point, all of a sudden it's way too spaced.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can't see it, I don't think, but the line is
literally against or under the blank.
I was saying, it's not even that it's against it, it's literally coming down past it. It's not laying across it. It's like halfway past it here,
Yeah, I was like making sure
halfway
it wasn't
here,
wrapped.
just down over the crest here, on the crest here, and then it's off the rod back here.
Pretty amazing.
That's nuts. Huh. So really that like
Did someone say spider jigs? Yeah.
damn right we
Drew.
did.
Oh,
Drew.
I don't know if. Oh, just
Oh,
kidding.
Aiden's out. Later,
Yeah,
Aiden. Have a
sorry.
good night, buddy.
I thought you were saying later to us, Drew.
That's phenomenal. Hey, let go. Treble hooks, curse you. No.
All right. So yeah, let's leave the death trap hanging for a bit.
No. All right, everybody back. Front center. Front center.
I don't have a jerkbait rod with me right now.
I do. Yes. I literally bought a jerkbait rod from Luke.
See what you did.
So remember how I saved that woman on Newfound this spring,
Yes.
and I accidentally dropped my new Ghost trolling motor. Camera, hang on. Yeah. So on my other Lose rod, it's a split grip, so this is all exposed blank. I dropped the kickstand on my trolling motor, literally right there.
He did. He shattered it.
Dude, it was bad.
Yep. I now have it at my house, and when I have to repair his rods, that's the rod I use for guides.
See, that's recycling. So, I finally started getting better and more confident with jerk baits. So, when that rod broke, I was like, well, I want to replace it because I like to have two, like, essentially treble hook rods, but I wanted something like more proper for jerk baits, like something a little bit shorter and really meant for that. So I got another Team Lose Custom Pro Speed Stick, but it's an all-purpose casting. So this is a 7-foot medium moderate fast. What was the difference between this? I thought I got a 610. What do I know? Anyway, it's supposed to be slightly different than that. I'm not sure how. Other than maybe it's just because it's full grip.
Same thing.
Yeah. I thought, dude, I swear to God, I thought about a 610. I thought it went one size down. I wonder if they should. I must have misclicked. Whatever. You know
so
what?
it's gonna look like what that just looked like because it's
probably
the
will.
same rate. The only difference is now we're gonna do 6 hooks to get hooked on versus the 3 that we just had because this one has 2
5/8.
treble hooks.
Dude, I really thought that I had a different rod.
Me too.
No, it's literally the same thing. I take everything back I said.
Yep. All right.
I could have sworn I
That's
bought
what that
a
one looks like
friggin'
behind us.
Whatever. Whatever.
Sean made a mistake.
I mean, we could
Yes, that is so true, Keith.
Ooh, Vance just bought a Megabass Levante jerkbait special. Can't wait. First Megabass rod and first dedicated jerkbait rod. Those are nice rods. Pretty much, I like everything Megabass makes. Like they're like their style. He's
More
sick.
hooks, the better.
That shit slaps.
It does.
Not as much as Wicked Custom rods though.
Wow.
I swear to God, I had another rod. Look.
Hey, does anyone want to see these? You know what we don't get to talk about tonight? All these ice rods that I have here. Look at all those blanks. Here's some ASMR. God, I got carbons. I got my lake trout. Somewhere in here I have a beef lo mein. I think. I thought.
What was this swim bait rod you built me?
What was the swim bait rod I built
Yeah.
you? An 8-foot 706-1. I don't know. No, yours was an 801.
Okay, big boy. Okay, we're doing the big boy stuff. I mean,
Oh
we're sticking
my
over water
Jesus.
rods to do this.
I was
and
just
we got
showing
it.
off my. Well, God, hold on.
Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm trying to not shut the door. It's all good.
Okay, let me put my little rods down.
All right, we're going on the extreme end of things here. I have my new swim bait rod from John. 8-foot heavy fast.
8-foot heavy. Fast. Yes.
Take this down, please, sir.
This one might go out of frame
Maybe.
because the The casting seat might not even have enough.
Whoop. Don't break my drop shot rod. The owner will be very mad. So will the maker. Go ahead and just seat that, please.
I guess.
Huzzah.
Skirt.
And you know what? We have extra weight on this because it's a 2-ounce Huddleston. I really hope you guys can hear me. I know I'm standing pretty far away. Oh, God, that's what she said.
Sorry, hitting buttons. We're going to be here all night, Cam says. That's awesome.
No. You're good. You got that?
Yes.
Do it to it. I kind of want... All right, we'll do this one, and I've got one other one from Wicked Custom. That's my other swim bait rod. It's my first one. And it's another 8-footer, but this one's rated 1 to 6 ounces, I think.
This is rated 3/4 to 6.
3/4 to 6, and I have another one that's only rated 1/2 ounce to 3 ounce. And I'm really curious to see how the two of them stack up against each other.
Wow. This thing is just massive.
Oh, it just barely fits in frame, though. All right, let's do this. That's up. So,
I'm gonna step on my rod.
Easy. So, 20 ounces of lead.
Yep.
And I think the Huddleston 8 inches, 2 ounces.
2 or 3.5.
I don't remember.
Something around 20 something ounces.
Dude. That's a swim bait rod. Hang on. Everything is, I'm all in. I got to move out. There we go. I'm off the camera. Let's just do it this way. But that is what I wanted. You've got just enough supple tip that you can kind of get it going and sling it, and the rest is backbone.
Yes.
So that's for your light duty stuff. So if you go down to that 1 ounce, it's not going to be too stiff. You still be able to fling it.
Yep.
And get good distance, and then the rest is just all power to handle those big ass baits.
Yeah. I don't see my line touching.
Oh, Vance, the 8-inch side is 4 to 4.5 ounces. You're probably right.
Yeah.
And then add in another
So you got 24 ounces on that.
10, 5/16, another 5/16 ounces because I have two 5/32 ounce nail weights in it
Oh, nice.
to help increase the fall rate.
Yeah. Because I remember when you did that.
Yeah, because I was trying to throw it down in 45 feet of water.
Yeah. Slow roll, 45 foot of water, just a tip. Exactly.
Jeez, we're gonna be here all night waiting for someone to hook.
If
some
Mark-
hooks to flesh.
If Mark is still on here, he actually has this same exact rod.
KY 4029 Kyle, I'm gonna call you Kyle. Kyle, there's 20 ounces of weight in the bucket, so there's 24 ounces.
Yep.
On that rod right now.
Yeah, just shy of 25.
That's incredible. Like
Yeah.
that makes me so happy to see that because that's how it feels, and
This
that's
is
what
the
we
way
were
it
talking
line's
about. That's what we
supposed to
wanted.
Look at that.
Look at that. It doesn't touch the rod blank anywhere.
It's even. It looks nice.
Hey guy, I think you know what you're doing.
Boom.
How about that for some advertising? That's insane. That's crazy. I got to get the other one. Where I had it right in here.
Is it?
Oh no, I moved it out there because it's got the.
Unload the rod.
Yeah, it's,
Oh.
That's amazing. One more.
Take this one out with you.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Open the door.
So, fun facts. That rod that he was just holding, without the reel, at an 8-foot rod, it has carbon fiber handles, not smooth. No, Keith, that was just a heavy. That rod only weighed 6.7 or 6.8 ounces, all built. So that thing is a monster, and everything's obviously, heavy rated guides. Everything was double wrapped from the stripper all the way to the tip. I believe actually the tip of that rod is like 9 millimeters, which is huge.
Yeah, but
It's basically double the size of anything else that I build. So now this one, actually we have the label on. So this is an 806-1 from NFC, and it's a moderate heavy. So a little bit different action, same power, rated for 1/2 to 3 ounce. So this was our one that we built specifically when NFC started to become bigger in our eyes of Wicked Custom Rods. We grabbed a few of these to try out, and Sean was lucky enough to be one of the 3 that we built them for.
yeah, and this was like all of us were just like really starting getting into the big baits to a point where like, I mean, I've been throwing a Huddleston Deluxe 68 for like 3 years at this point, and I started dabbling in other like bigger baits I could find. So there was like the three of us were like, all right, yeah, no, we need like an actual proper big boy swim bait rod. So that's where this came in. But we weren't like into the crazy heavyweight stuff, you know, like your 5 and 6 ounce glides, wakes and things like that.
My Depths 250 that I have now, that's a 10.5-inch bait or 9.5-inch bait.
Right.
It's 5 ounces.
So this was like the most natural choice for us to make. It's a 1/2 ounce to 3 ounce. It actually, going back to that initial conversation, right? Rods that you can do multiple things with. This makes a fantastic punching rod with a 2 ounce tungsten weight. Dude, this thing was perfect for it. I could not believe how amazing it handled it. But this is rated 1/2 ounce to 3 ounce. So, and I've caught, I'm trying to think. I took this striper fishing last year, and I caught 3 stripers at 29 inches on that. That rod was just like, yeah, I don't give a shit about you fish. With a Lew's Super Duty 300 on it too. Like it's an incredible thing.
Back to the 2 treble hooks to get stuck
Just
on.
one.
It's just our hooks, don't worry. There you go. There's your moderate action.
This is exactly why I had this rod set up for my topwater rod. That's why there's braid on it.
Yeah, we were throwing the Buka bull shads and things like that on this original.
The bull wakes and everything.
Bull wake, that's what it was that you bought at the actually at the Expo.
Yep.
The custom painted one that you and Andrew grabbed.
Yeah, which I still love. I still fish the hell out of it. But that's what I loved about this, because it's a lot more supple, as you can see. Like it's still stout.
You still have backbone regardless that entire way.
Yeah, but
you know,
it's supple. So even though you're still fishing giant treble hooks, they're still treble hooks, right? You don't want to overpower it. So I can lean into it without ripping the damn bait, the hooks out.
right, and then you have that big arch for anyone that can't hear me.
That's awesome. Look at how even that is too. Like,
yeah, that's nice. And I mean, really, it doesn't even start to move till your third guide.
That's incredible.
I love it.
I think we're done.
I had to stand up for a moment.
That
was awesome.
Man, I really hope for everybody that's still hanging around that you found that as like enjoyable and as enlightening as we did, because that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Talk about a proper visualization of power.
Right.
New shirt idea, John. Supple tips.
Nice.
Now's the time for your questions, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point, no, we're not going to get to the ice, which is good and bad because there's still plenty of time.
Because I had people share this on an ice page, so if anyone stopped in for ice rods,
we're really sorry. We're going to make it up to you. I am going to make it up to you big time. So, and I'll make sure I post this for next week. We're going to do an ice special only. We're going to go deep into it to make up for it. I'm going to put up $100 my own money, not the money you guys have donated. $100 out of my own pocket. Credit towards Wicked Custom Rods. Woo! For an ice rod, right? It's going to be an ice show specific thing. $100 towards a custom ice rod, which either gets you a free rod or a dope ass rod for next to nothing.
That gets you really close. I'm thinking of I got a bunch of ice rods, but I mean that basically pays for almost the entire thing. You can even upgrade your guides if you want. You want titanium guides? I can do titanium on ice. It's pretty awesome. That's going to be a killer show. I mean, a killer show. This was awesome too.
Yeah.
For everyone that has hung around for the hour and 40 minutes that we've already been on and dealt with that it's really exciting. Again, we didn't plan to go this long. We originally thought we'd only be about 90 minutes, so we didn't even get to everything we did. I mean, look, I still have this. I'll bring this back next weck for everything. This is my aqua view.
Yeah, but think about all the other stuff we get to bring now too. If we're doing an ice fishing show specifically, bring your jaw jackers.
Yeah, I don't have any right now. I'm not sold out. I have my personal one. I'll set up my tripod to show you guys. This is a camera, underwater camera for anyone that wants to know.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. No, there's gonna be some cool stuff going on.
Do you have jumbo guides? No blood though. Sorry.
So, jumbo, no, but I do use oversized guides. I'll attest to it. Anyone else that has any of my ice rods currently can attest to it. specifically the way I build my rods and the style we're using.
I was say, don't I have mine right there?
Yeah, Sean actually has his right here.
Hey.
This is actually a recoil guide, so it's a little bit different, and I know you can't really even see it, but so it's a little bit thinner of a guide. So my stripper guide, I always do a little bit bigger for anyone that doesn't want to do a inline reel like this is. If you want to do a traditional open-faced reel, you can have that as well. Stripper guide's going to help you with some recoil. And then I do wire guides all the way up, and they are oversized. I mean, all the way to the tip. So if I just put my finger behind this, you can kind of see the size of it. So even if you get a little bit of ice, if you're fishing for something like this with a carbon rod and you're hooking up at least every now and then, any ice that's actually on them usually just chips and falls right off. I've been out up to last year. We were actually all out, myself, Andrew, and Sean, all day. It was -9, and the wind was blowing like a bastard. We were hole hopping, and the hardest thing to keep ice off of was actually the holes themselves.
Was that the day
of our
that
rods.
we were walking over to reset a line and you were like screaming at us because one of the flags went off to our right?
Oh,
And we
yeah.
just kept on trucking because we couldn't hear a thing.
Literally couldn't hear. The wind was literally blowing like 50 miles an hour
And
across
you
this
called me,
way.
you're like, I'm yelling at you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look back, you're like,
I don't know what the hell type of whistle it's called, but I can whistle with my fingers, so it's super loud. I whistle. I'm flailing. I'm not a small dude by any means. I am absolutely flailing. They turn around and they're like, "That's all I see." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll just like trying to get my phone out of it, and I'm trying to get into my pants to even get my phone out." It was pretty epic.
yep.
But yeah, so stuff that I'm gonna bring for the ice show. I have my Aqua View. I also have a Lowrance 7. It's a Hook 2 7X triple shot, I believe.
It's over there.
I originally bought it for my boat and then realized that I just wanted to upgrade to a Helix. And then I bought a Solix. So I'm actually waiting. I've been waiting since, I think, August. I ordered a new shuttle for my Helix. And it's still back ordered, so I'm kind of pissed that I won't have that. But I have a Helix 9 that I'm converting into an ice unit, and then a 7, and also my Aqua View. We'll kind of go into depth. Sean has a Striker 4.
Love that thing.
Seriously.
For the value, for the price it was, phenomenal.
$150, right, with the ice pack?
200.
All right, $200 with an ice pack.
Still really good.
I will tell you that when we were lugging him around one other day when we were out ice fishing, believe it or not, Sean actually does ice fish occasionally.
On occasion.
It was nice. It's so compact, and it just was like looking at it, looking at the clarity, the ping speed. Those are the types of things we'll get into just to kind of give you guys more of a broad spectrum. You know, Keith just said Striker 4 is mint. I love mine. I know a lot of guys, for anyone that's not part of the groups, that's local to us in New Hampshire, guys, hop on the New Hampshire ice fishing page because people post things at the end of the year where Walmart goes on clearance with these things.
Mm-hmm.
I know last year, I believe the cheapest price I saw was $39.99 for the unit. And then you can always buy the ice pack separate.
Right.
And now you're literally talking about, again, I think it's $100 just for the unit.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I got my Lowrance. I bought the unit, and then I ended up buying the ice kit, which comes with the deucer, the bag, and the battery shuttle. And that's how I created that pack together. And I love it. It's great for hole hopping, but it's also great for when I set up my Aqua View and have my, my sonar going as well. So some pretty cool stuff that we'll be talking about.
Tons of good stuff. Andrew will be back next week too. So I'm pretty much just kind of like sit here and be like, I'm learning with everybody else, and really let those two take it over. Andrew's done a ton more ice fishing than I have, but I've started to learn some things, and it'll actually be kind of neat to like talk about how my open water has translated to ice fishing and how my ice fishing is translated to open water a little bit, especially recently with the Demiki rig. So there are some parallels there to a very limited extent, but nonetheless, some do exist. So I'll at least be able to chime in a little bit, talk about gear and stuff, the whole 9 yards. So apologies again for anybody that came in here looking for the ice fishing thing tonight. That was the plan. Trust me, we did not bamboozle you. It's just we got distracted by fun things with the rod. The
now
rod
you
power?
find out that he's going to put up $100 to someone. I don't know how we're going to do that, but that's going to be awesome. Well, it's
I'll
pretty
figure it
easy.
out
He tells
between.
me.
Yeah, I'll figure it out between now and then. Basically, I'll have to pick someone from the stream. It'll be kind of probably late in the stream because I don't want anybody to, like. The problem with what happens every time you do a giveaway is you advertise that, right? And first off, you get spammed by a bunch of crap. And then you always end up with like 50 more people that show up literally just spamming like, when's the giveaway, when's the giveaway, when's the giveaway? And they don't give a shit about anything else. And that's not what I want. This is to reward the people who want to be there. So that's why I do it at like towards the end of the streams. It's not because I'm trying to keep people to watch. It's because the people that were already going to be there are the ones that are going to be rewarded. Like, that's the way I look at it. I'm not trying to trick people in here and like boost my numbers or anything. I'm going to do it for the people that are genuinely interested, that want to sit there, and there's going to be plenty of people that are going to sit the whole thing out because there's going to be tons of stuff they want to learn. If for nothing else, even if they're not there to learn, they just want to be a part of an ice fishing conversation. And those guys that genuinely want to be there and hang out, they're going to be the ones that are going to actually like get a chance at the reward, right? It's going to be randomized. But that's why I will never, ever, ever do a giveaway of any kind at the beginning of a stream, because that's all you get. Like, you'll watch.
Yeah,
it'll probably
it's
be
terrible.
like,
yeah.
I guarantee we're going to break
I
100
remember when we were
viewers.
giving away to shirts. How early was I in that? I think I was on like episode 6.
Yep.
And we gave away shirts. And I don't get me wrong, I know a couple of you that have been in this chat got
Since
them,
day one,
which I am so happy about. But I remember everyone was like, when's the giveaway? I'm like, guys, you're here for a friggin' shirt. I appreciate the support, but like, pound sand, let's go make some diamonds, because you are not getting that.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was literally like horrible, but luckily we lucked out. We did give away a lot of stuff to people that are still tuning in and sharing and everything like that.
Yeah. So, parting thoughts. Everybody that watched tonight, thank you very much, especially for those that stuck it out and dealt with this whole audio video desync. Again, I apologize for it. There was nothing I could do. Like, I mean, I panicked. I was straight up panicking.
Yeah.
It was 7:57 and we set the whole thing up, and then all of a sudden it clicked. I was like, dude, I forgot to do that last night. I meant to fix that. And I put in 6 minutes of like absolute just like trying to figure this thing out, and I couldn't fix it in time. So that's all right. I will have it fixed for next time. Hopefully I don't have to buy more hardware to fix that. It could be because there's like 2 different cable types between how the microphones go
No one
in
cares, Sean.
and then how the camera
no
goes.
one cares. It's all right.
I don't know. I'm speaking out loud
Trust me,
because
he's so upset, which is why he's trying to explain it to you. When I tell you, I've never seen so much fear go through this kid's face. He fully panicked. He cursed. He ran the 6.5 feet to his computer and frantically started typing like when your mom walks in on you and you're trying to go to a different website fast. That's how fast he was typing.
I mean, yes, but also you never know if somebody's watching that understands that shit, and they're like, "Oh, guy, do this."
I'm just
And there's that jerk.
and then you get this guy that just keeps spamming us with
Mother Russia,
Van FYI.
Van Boob, FYI.
Brian, absolutely. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Carl, I did see your comment in the chat. We will definitely see you in Boxborough. Again, I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I'll be there Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it is not far from my house, so I likely will stick around for a couple drinks and then drive home safely. But it is not far from me. Basically, doorstep to doorstep's only about 30 minutes. So I don't have as far of a drive as Sean.
No, it's not too bad. It's an hour and 15 minutes, but that means 0 drinking for me, which I really don't care. I don't need to drink. I'll still have fun and watch everybody else get rowdy, and I'll be the guy that drives everybody home, which I'm totally fine with.
That's perfect.
And then I'll be ready to rock first thing in the morning for Sunday morning too. So be good. All right. So next week, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, youtube.com/603bass for everybody that's probably listening to the podcast portion of this at this point. If you want to catch it live, otherwise you got to wait a day or two is likely what it's going to be to when all the audio portions of this get up. So there's that. Again, thank you everybody that stuck it out. Greatly appreciate it. If you didn't drop a like on the stream, if you could do that real quick, please, before you go. Anybody that's watching this on YouTube at this point, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Everybody that shared the stream prior to the show starting, thank you.
Yeah,
so
thank you
freaking
for
much.
everyone that shared it on my page as well. That was awesome.
Yeah. everybody else, Brian, Gary, different baits, Chris, Keith, Carl. Who else is there? Let me go back up. Cam's still here. Jason, Drew, Dave,
Yeah.
Sir Altitude. Oh my God. Guggen Slayer.
Yeah.
I think you're still here.
Pretty sure everyone's just piling in. I got messages flying in, so I know people are reaching out, liking the page, everything.
Damn right.
I
So
appreciate everything, guys.
go check out Wicked Custom Rods if you are looking for an ice fishing rod of any kind, or if you're looking for a custom build out. If you're looking for more off the shelf stuff, obviously I cannot recommend Lose highly enough. There's a reason why I'm sponsored by them and Wicked Custom Rods for that matter. I only stick with things that I truly believe in. I have
Dan's
been
still
beyond
here, too.
happy. Oh, hey, Dan. With everything Lose has done. Their rods are phenomenal. Their reels have treated me exceptionally well since day one.
I do really enjoy their reels as well.
Oh,
A ton of their high-end reels are incredible.
Yeah. Oh, TV18's still here too. Hey, buddy. So if you're looking for all that stuff, by all means, go check it out. Obviously, if you're looking at Lose, go to the video description below. Click on the link from there. I don't get a kickback from them for every sale that I make by using that link. It just makes it better for me in the end because it shows Lose that, oh, hey, he actually does drive more traffic to us.
Yep.
So if you're interested, go through that, please. We greatly appreciate it. Other than that, we're done rambling. Thank you very much, everybody. Melissa, Drew, TV18, Dan, Mark, Sir Altitude, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Have
Thanks
a
again for
Merry
everyone with
Christmas.
the donations too. That was
Yes. Thank you for
awesome.
bringing that up.
You're welcome.
I thought last week was insane. You guys bested last week by $40. $540 came in tonight.
What?
That's $1,000 in 2 weeks. In a week. In 7 days stretch. In
That's
2
it.
episodes.
I'm done work. 100% doing this. I'm just kidding.
100%. 10 out of 10.
That's
Hammer
what I
time.
appreciate about all of you. Here's my beard rub on the mic.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your long weekend. Hopefully for those that do get it. Otherwise, at least everybody enjoy your Saturday off. Do something that makes you happy. We'll see y'all here next Wednesday. Everyone have a great night.